Today we're going to be playing the Modern Warfare 3 beta. The last time we had played this, I was over on PlayStation, which meant that I didn't get access to like all my Vault Edition skins because I pre-ordered the game every year on Xbox since I game share with somebody. But now we're over on Xbox and I have access to all my Vault Edition skins, and man, they are absolutely beautiful. It also gave me access to a bunch of like the Vault Edition like blueprints for the weapons and stuff, and they look absolutely insane. We're going to be using them in game, obviously. At this current point in time, I'm just kind of playing for fun because I've actually already like completed the beta. I hit max rank, I did everything that there is to do. I mean, at this point I could go through and max out all the weapons, but I think that would kind of be like unnecessary because I don't even think that those weapon levels are going to carry over to the main game. I mean, if they do carry over to the main game, then sure, I'll do it. I'll have to look into that then, but otherwise, yeah, I basically completed the beta already. Oh, I got that test dummy skin as well, and it's absolutely ridiculous, but it's hilarious at the same time. I'm glad they finally fixed the one bug that was happening with this AMR9 where like if you tack sprinted and then you tried to aim, it was really slow. Like if you tried to ADS, it would be like twice as slow. If you tried to reload coming out of a tack sprint, it was like twice as slow. If you tried to switch weapons, it was twice as slow. It was really bizarre. It seems like they might have nerfed the SMG a bit though, because like when the beta this weekend first started, this SMG was like really overpowered, but this weekend, I mean, like, it's still powerful, but it's definitely nowhere near as OP as it was at the start of the weekend. Then again, I don't know, this thing is still hitting pretty hard. It could also be like SBMM as well, because like when the weekend first started, I was like just straight up beaming people left and right. Then again, I can't blame SBMM outright, who knows, maybe my aim is just a little off today. Assist? I can't get over just how satisfying this game is to play. Like, that change to 150 HP, that is one of the best changes that Call of Duty has made in a while. I don't know if it's going to be in every Call of Duty game going forward. Either way, I don't really care. I like both the 100 HP games and the 150 HP games, but like, oh my gosh, just having to like actually work for your kills in this game just makes them all feel so much more satisfying. Like, in MW2, when I get a kill, don't get me wrong, it feels satisfying enough, but in MW3, like, every kill feels like an achievement. It's just, oh, it's so good. Between the visual feedback and the audio feedback and just like, I don't know, something about the way that the game feels to play, just, it feels so good. It seems like they also fixed or at least somewhat addressed one of my main complaints with the last weekend of the beta where like the visibility was just absolutely terrible. Like this weekend, I don't know if they actually did change it, but it seems like I've been shooting my teammates less, so it seems like they might have adjusted something. All I know is that last weekend, it was like near impossible to distinguish who like the enemies and the teammates were, but this weekend, like, you know, I can actually see who they are.
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. UAV standing by.
Ow. There's another bug I've noticed too, where like anytime you're indoors and you try to call in like a counter UAV, it just like, it won't work for some reason. It says there isn't enough space to call in this Shriek, even though it's a counter UAV. I'm not too worried. I mean, it's just a beta. I know these betas are pretty close to being like what the final game is gonna be, but you know, they still have like an entire month to iron things out. So, you know, and again, it's not like there's been any game-breaking bugs in this beta. There's just been like a few small things here and there, and I'm sure there's been a bunch of other people recording this stuff. So I'm sure launch is going to be pretty smooth. I mean, the beta itself, like I've said many times at this point, I mean, it's a very polished beta. It feels really good to play. Sure, there's a few small things here and there, but, you know, Sledgehammer, they listen to the community more than any other COD dev. So any issues that there are, even if they do exist at launch, they'll be gone within weeks. Obviously, there's a few things out of their control, like SVMM or EOMM or whatever you want to call it nowadays. I mean, obviously, they can't do anything about that. That's more or less an Activision thing. But even then, there is two things that I must say about that. One, the SBMM or whatever you want to call it in this beta so far really hasn't been that bad. Sure, it could be a bit more egregious for the launch of the game, and it could, you know, like hit a lot harder like it did during like I remember launch for Cold War was pretty bad when it came to the SBMM.
Inside the perimeter.
So who knows, we could always have another one of those situations where the game comes out and it's just like, when it comes to the SBMM, it's near unplayable at times. But as far as I can tell so far, like, it's really not that bad. And you also have to consider the fact that this game has 150 HP, so regardless of like what SBMM does, you're still gonna have to work for your kills no matter what. So I feel like even the more egregious examples of SBMM, it won't feel as bad this year, or at least I'm expecting it not to, since you're still gonna have to be accurate, you're still gonna have to work for your kills. Even for all the crazy slide canceling kangaroos that you see jumping around the map, no matter how these players move, no matter what they do, at the end of the day, it's still going to come down to each player and their individual ability to like aim down sights, aim for the head, work for those kills. How many shots do you land when you're spraying? So I at the end of the day, I feel like this year when it comes to SPMM, it will either not be as bad, not be as noticeable, or it could be the exact opposite, and it could be the worst that we've ever seen, to where like the accuracy is one of the main determining factors when it comes down like the SBMM puts you into these games, because we already know from the patents that that is a thing, that they do account for accuracy. But it could be like the worst that we've ever seen, so it's gonna be one of those things where time will only tell. I truly do believe that compared to years past, though, like I don't think it will be that bad this year. Will it be there? Yes. Does it suck? And do I wish that we could, you know, alter it at least, you know, because I think that SBMM in theory is a good idea. Like, those newer players do deserve to be protected. I know back in the day it was different, and like, you know, the OG MW2 in 2009. But one thing you have to recognize or realize is that like gaming has changed so much, and there's so many more players nowadays. Could you, and there's a lot more players that take it like way more competitively and way more seriously as well. So could you imagine those players that sweat the game day in, day out? They have like a 10 KD, and then they come into the game and they're playing against newbies all the time. Like, that would be so unbalanced, and it would be terrible. I know some people may not agree with that, but I do believe in the grand scheme of things that yes, SBMM in theory is a good thing. I just think, as with many things in the modern gaming industry, the execution has been handled quite terribly. But again, only time will tell. We'll see how it goes this year. All in all, though, I'm super excited for this year of Call of Duty. I mean, I'm excited for every year of Call of Duty. Even during the days of, like, Infinite Warfare and World War II, like, I was beyond excited for those games, even. Call of Duty is just one of those series that, you know, I've always been passionate about, and as long as it goes, I foresee that I'll always be passionate about it. I love the game. That being said, I must admit that I'm a little extra excited this year, just because, I don't know, there's a lot of promising things happening with this game, between, like, the fundamental gameplay changes that they made, a lot of the things that we've been hearing that will be in the game, on top of some of the leaked content that we've heard will be coming in, like, later seasons. On top of the fact that they're literally letting all of our items from MW2 carry over to MW3, which is like one of the most consumer-friendly things that Activision has ever done. And considering the fact that Sledgehammer is at the helm once again, and I will say this till the day that I die, Sledgehammer is one of the best Call of Duty developers. Sledgehammer are like the absolute top of like the Call of Duty developers when it comes to like listening to the community and giving them exactly what they want. Even if there is issues with this game, all we have to do is complain, and then, you know, changes will come, you know what I mean? When you play a Sledgehammer game, like, you can just tell, they get what makes Call of Duty fun. It's all about that, you know, fast, arcadey, minute-to-minute gunplay, just like, you know, that snappy feeling that Call of Duty's always been known for, and yeah, MW3 so far has that in strides. Though if there is anything that I'm worried about in this game, I will admit that zombies is the one part that I'm really concerned about. I've been hearing about all these changes that they're making, and the fact that it's not round-based, it's just, I don't know, it could be good, it could be not, we'll see. Zombies I look forward to trying, multiplayer and campaign, yeah, I think this is gonna be a great year. I mean, heck, even Warzone's grown on me over the course of the last year, so who knows, I'm actually kind of excited to see what they do with that during this year too. Anyway, as always, a massive shout out, thank you to all the Patrons and channel members, thank you to all of you in the low baller tier, new bigger shout out, thank you to all of you in the big baller tier, Mellow asking MB Daddy Manny in the biggest shout out, thank you to all of you in the G tier, Run Avengers, 10 Little Cheese Go, thank you guys so much, you guys are literal legends, I love you. Thank you guys for watching, have an amazing day, stay beautiful, I love you all, peace.